A hacked Pokemon never gave anyone a competitive advantage whatsoever as long as they are hacking the Pokemon within legal parameters. And of course, by legal parameters, I mean legal stats, appropriate abilities, etc. The big thing about this nearly decade-old narrative is that it comes from a clout chaser, and he only ever had this blanket statement and his pissy emotions to stand on, because this is the way he thought he could character assassinate you and make you feel bad for cheating in a child's video game. Yes, Nintendo, the Pokemon Company, etc. could use better hack checks. Cheating is wrong, and if you're stupid enough to get caught with obviously hacked Pokemon, yeah, it's going to get you in trouble. The biggest thing about this narrative, and narratives in general, is that clarity is never established, because of course you're trying to push a narrative. There's only one clarification that needs to be made. There's a difference between hacked Pokemon and a competitive advantage. Look at these two Pokemon. What's the difference between the two? Well, ultimately, the only thing you can say is that they look like legal Pokemon because they are within legal parameters. There's the EV split that competitive players normally put on their Pokemon. They have legal abilities. But what if I told you, just to make a point here, that this Galarian Corsola turned out to be hacked within all of those legal parameters? It's not even shiny. The reason why the Pokemon Company, Nintendo, etc. does not treat Pokemon like the fucking wild west is because they're not gonna run people away with some brain dead witch hunt, which is the only way you can even find any specifics like this. They don't care, and can you blame them to look into every single Pokemon to see exactly how they were created? Yeah, sure, this Galarian Corsola was illegally generated. It just means that the same Pokemon that anyone can get legally has had the time taken away from creating it legally. And ladies and gents, time is not a competitive advantage. Just like every single athlete out there who isn't doping, by the way, has an equal amount of time to hone their skills at football, basketball, whatever. Time is the same fucking moot point when it comes to any kind of competitive advantage in Pokemon. After all, what the fuck is the hurry? What are you rushing to achieve? Then again, this is the same idiot that claims that breeding is a skill. Yeah, ladies and gents, you're losing brain cells, pressing buttons, scrolling through tons and tons of text, receiving and hatching eggs. That is so much fucking skill that requires even a college degree to master. No, all you need to do is know how to breed competitively and at all, and that's breeding in a nutshell. Right now, I'm sure you're wondering, well, what's the big deal with hacked Pokemon? This isn't a competitive advantage. The same thing can be attained legally, so where is the competitive advantage? Not dumping your brain cells for hundreds and hundreds of hours in your basement just to hatch the same Pokemon someone hacked in never equated to a competitive advantage. The Pokemon can still be defeated if you're skilled enough, because ladies and gents, don't the competitive players have to have the skill to conquer these Pokemon that are legally possible? Yeah, just like with a legal Pokemon, you still have to know how to use a hacked Pokemon within the same legal parameters just as skillfully. This is an example of a competitive advantage because Wonder Guard Spiritomb does not legally exist. Here's yet another example. You cannot have this many EVs across all of its stats. Mega Gengar's ability is not competitive. It happens to have 31 IVs in every single stat, which is more than possible for many Pokemon. And to throw some extra fluff in there, it happens to be shiny. And here's yet another, if not the same example of Pokemon that give you a competitive advantage, because they all happen to have 999 hit points. When you don't have a narrative to push and clout to chase, you can actually make fucking sense and have credibility. Again, there's a huge difference between run-of-the-mill hacked Pokemon and something that actually gives you a competitive advantage. Realm of Nightmares, the reason why I don't bring up hyper training is because it's self-explanatory. It's so obvious to see if your Pokemon's stats have been hyper trained. Now, hyper training and mint are nothing more than placebos, which is why I hate them because they should be the real thing, especially all of the bullshit you go through just for your Pokemon to qualify for hyper training to begin with. But at the same time, yes, hyper trained stats act and perform like they have 31 IVs, but there is a clear difference between hyper trained stats and stats that naturally have 31 IVs in them. Remember, the smooth brain I'm talking about needs ammo to push narratives, not facts. Just like cocksucker Nerth here, who's promoting his libelous trash. And if you don't agree with him and his baby daddy, you're all lost. Something else you all should know about Nerth is that he shares his master's traits to a fault. But Nerth was one of his master's mods in his Discord, and here's Nerth once again crawling back to his master on all fours like a good mangy mutt, being nothing more than a Wooloo with his pom-pom flex. You're not going to get facts from clout chasers. Now you know the difference between your everyday hacked Pokemon and Pokemon, illegal Pokemon that actually give a competitive advantage. Now let these smooth brains resume their witch hunting activities in their mother's basement so they can feel good about themselves.